I'm Bob Coleman, and we're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Thank you to this week's sponsor, the National Rural Lenders Roundtable. Thomas Kimsey, we're at the Trump-Doral, the National Alliance of Commercial Loan Brokers. Thomas, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Bob.
Why is Thomas USAF, who you're the president CEO of, why are you here?
We're here to provide access to capital to rural America, Bob, and we love rural America as well as all America. We're serving all 50 states, the U.S. territories, and we're just happy to be here.
Guam.
Guam, yeah, I was in Guam in May, exactly. So we're just happy to be here, be a part of this conference, and we think we can assist these small business owners by being here. Tell me about December 5th in Washington, D.C., a very important event. Yes, that's correct. A very important event. We've got our annual roundtable in D.C., December 5th, the National Rural Lenders Roundtable coming up. It's a great event. We'll have all the USDA representatives there, as well as Senator David Perdue's our keynote speaker. We're really excited to have him there, who's on the Ag Committee, and we encourage everybody to be there to get the update and to help participate in the USDA program. And come the day before for the SBA secondary market as well. You're the sponsor. We have Senator Risch as the keynote speaker for that. And this is a really important time because it's going to be after the election, and we're going to have a little bit more clarity of the membership in the House and how that affects Main Street and rural America. That's right, how it'll affect access to capital and how the funding level looks. Absolutely. Thanks, Thomas. Thank you.
Newtek President and CEO Barry Sloan stopped by Coleman Report Live and talked about Newtek's performance ending September 30th, 2018. Welcome, Coleman Report Live, November 1st edition. Hey, special guest, President of Newtek, Barry Sloan. Thank you very much for joining us, Barry. This is a live event. We go down to about 150 lenders, so thank you very much for joining us. I want to start with number 5 in the country, 23% growth in 7A. Those are amazing numbers, Barry.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. We're an overnight success, just over 16 years it's taken. That's it.
There you go. What I want to talk about, what's fascinating for me is you're a public company, so we can drill down on what affects SBA lenders. You took a hit from the secondary market. Talk about that. You sell the loans to the SBA 7A secondary market. You took a hit, but you were able to make it up. Tell me about that.
Sure. Obviously, people that are using the secondary market experienced a significant downdraft in price in the third quarter.
And let me stop you there. What was the percentage? Was almost what, 15%?
I would say versus where we had cleared before, we had about a 25% decline
25%.
in price.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But fortunately, Bob, given our unique business model, which is getting referrals from financial institutions, we have a tremendous opportunity to select amongst a lot of referrals. So we're probably going to look at $18 to $19 billion of referrals. We'll fund 2.5% of those. So we were able to make up the price declination on volume and quality volume. So we're not cutting into credit at all to be able to make it up on the volume.
Talk about that. You have a different, unique model. Traditional SBA lenders, they hire a BDO, they beat the bushes. Tell me about your referral network.
Sure. So, Bob, when we acquired Commercial Capital Corp in 2003, we took a look at the issues that they had that caused them problems as a non-bank lender. It was a great case study. So what we decided to do was develop a software called Newtek, which is a fully transparent software, and partner with financial institutions, primarily investment banks, trade associations, and we get referrals. We get over 320, 330 a day.
Wow.
And we've gotten over 800,000 in our life. And the referring partner just has to give us name, address, and phone number. We have coupled that recently with our LSP opportunity, where we will assemble, underwrite, and push the decision to the bank. And if the bank doesn't want it on their license and we approve it, it comes to us. So we've got this incredible network to look at a lot of opportunities, streamline technology to be able to pass the loans from assembler to credit memo to committee to pre-close, post-close, and we have our own legal. So all the staff is in-house. We have 175 employees in-house. Wow. The model has worked very well. I made the joke about overnight success in 20 years, but we've really streamlined this process.
Got to ask you the question, your crystal ball, 2019, are you going to be able to sustain these numbers?
Yeah, we've been growing at 20 to 25%. If we move our close rate up from 2.4% to 3%, we will be able to sustain the 25% growth and continue to make our numbers and pay the dividend that's been so attractive to our BDC investors, which is $1.80 on $19 stock.
Very nice. Hey, I appreciate you coming on and got to ask the question. You have 2 LSPs, 2 loan service providers. They've been in the news. Give us an update. What's going on with that?
Sure. Well, we've owned and operated small business lending as an LSP. I think for over 10 years. Robert Hawes is the executive director of that entity, and we probably got a servicing portfolio of a couple $100 million, including servicing for the FDIC and NCUA, the credit union regulator. Many people are aware that we acquired BankServe a little over 2 years ago. BankServe, unfortunately, had an incident where the FBI went into their offices in September of last year. That is an ongoing investigation. We have minimized the BankServe presence. We have moved accounts over at their request to our other LSP. And, BankServe is still existing today, but with a much diminished presence. We've maintained our Indiana great staff, so the staff is there. People are still servicing those accounts and performing LSP services, but it's being done out of a fresh entity. The 2 executives are no longer with our company. Wish them the best of luck. And
give us the name again. So the LSP operated by Newtek operates under the brand name of
Small Business Lending, SBL. And we put a Newtek in front of that. Newtek Small Business Lending, yes.
Barry Sloan, President and CEO, I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Bob. A pleasure.
As you know, I was at the Trump Doral, and I was one of the speakers. Here's a Q&A that I had, and I gave a response about SBA loan agent and packaging fees.
And I think part of the problem is that you're being bullied by a lender, is the lenders don't understand this. The lenders are going to say, wait a minute, I know I can't pay you a percentage of a loan, and you're coming and saying, well, here's the regulation. I get to 1.5% loan. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put 20 hours doing this, and I'm going to put 30 hours doing it. It takes me 10 hours driving all across town, putting all this stuff together, and nothing going to get estimates. And you need to work with a lender who understands that. And I'm telling you right now, there are lenders, first of all, the default is we're not going to pay the fees. It's just too confusing. And you're going to have to work with the lender. And if the lender doesn't want you to go through this and say, fine, then I need to get a little bit higher referral fee. Because referral fees are absolutely legitimate. If you don't want me to charge a fee to the applicant, fine. But if I'm not going to get 1%, I need to get 1.5% because the lender can pay you a percentage of the loan, the borrower can't. And that's the problem. And that's where it gets confusing and it gets messy.
Following up on last week's podcast, Coleman webinar instructor extraordinaire Lance Sexton had a discussion about litigation plans. Listen to this instructions that he is giving you about reconciling charge-offs on the lender's books and SBA's books.
Charge-off is something, again, a mistake a lot of SBA participant lenders make is they charge it off their books and don't realize they have to make a recommendation to SBA to charge it off. And the thing that will happen, if you charge it off your books and just forget about it, that loan's going to stay on SBA's system and continue to be looked at as an open and live SBA loan. So when is charge-off recommendation? Well, if you've gone through the liquidation process and you've exhausted all potential for recovery from payments, compromise with the obligors, litigation or liquidation of collateral and enforced collection, charge-off is appropriate. If any further collection efforts, even though you might be able to collect, but the cost to collect makes it not cost-effective or practical, then charge-off is appropriate. If the obligators if your guarantors can't be located, they're unable to pay the balance or unwilling, charge-off is appropriate. or if you can't collect the loan balance because of bankruptcy by the borrower or the guarantor's, charge-off is appropriate.
Following up on our profiles of leaders in small business financing industry, Aaron Crowder, Business Development Venture Solutions. You'll enjoy this exchange. Aaron Crowder, we're at the Trump Doral, head of Business Development Venture Credit Solutions. What do you do?
So essentially, we come from the subprime lending space, and we're looking to help lenders, brokers convert more leads by helping the clients who are denied with credit issues.
How's that work? What is the logistics of that?
So essentially, we fight data. There's a lot of credit repair companies out here, claiming to do these magical tricks that fix your credit. We fight data. We buy people some time to get their affairs in order, and everybody's suffering from some sort of mishap via the data. The credit bureaus aren't necessarily aligned. Anything that's not 100% accurate, we can fix that and get these people in a better place.
Yeah, I mean that's still a mess.
It's
embarrassing for them. Tell us about the people who are viewing this are small business lenders.
Okay.
Give them a pitch of what services that you have that a bank in Omaha would be interested in.
So whenever you look to provide someone with capital, if you're turning them away due to credit problems, obviously that's something we can help with. We'll not only clean up the credit, we'll build up the credit, and then we can offer them consumer lines in order to have access to some capital, and that also will continue to drive up the credit, not only servicing the client, but essentially creating a better client for you, the lender.
Aaron, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Finally, with Veterans Day coming up, I thought it would be appropriate to do a little promo of what SBA does for our veterans and their families.
U.S. military veterans have done a tremendous amount for our country, on our own soil, and around the world. In response, the Small Business Administration, or SBA, offers support for our veterans as they enter the world of business ownership and continue to serve our country by creating jobs in our communities. At the helm is the Office of Veterans Business Development. It's devoted exclusively to promoting veteran entrepreneurship. Its mission is to maximize the availability and usability of all small business programs for veterans, service-disabled veterans, reservists, active duty service members, transitioning service members, and their spouses, dependents, or survivors. Here's how we do it. SBA's programs feature customized curriculums, in-person classes, and instructor-led online courses, so veterans can get the training they need to succeed. These programs introduce participants to the fundamentals of business ownership, SBA resources, and small business experts. Our veteran entrepreneurship training programs include Boots to Business, Veteran Women Igniting the Spirit of Entrepreneurship, and Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for veterans with disabilities. In addition to our programs, Veterans Business Outreach Centers, or VBOCs, also provide support to our veterans in all stages of business planning, training, and mentorship. Across the country, VBOC counselors offer local assistance tailored to veterans who own a small business or are considering starting one. Veterans and their spouses may also receive special consideration when it comes to loans and access to capital. Remember, SBA doesn't provide loans directly, but with specialized loan programs offered through lenders who partner with SBA, we make it easier for veterans to get capital to build and grow their businesses. Veterans deserve to live the American dream they help to defend, and SBA is committed to ensuring they have the training, access, and opportunity they need to succeed as small business owners. Visit sba.gov/veterans to learn more about how SBA helps our veterans succeed with their small business ventures.
Thank you for joining us today for the Coleman Report Update and for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time.